It all started when I took a dare from my friend Billy Motts. "John, I dare you to come to my paper route and check out the chicks." I said, "Okay," and that's how it all got started. Well, let's get down to the story, shall we? I was on my way with Billy to his paper route. After we began working on the first block, we stopped for a bit and I asked Billy, "Billy, is this the street?" "No," Billy said. "Oh," I replied. Then Billy said, "The next street is the street where the chicks live." "Hot damn," I yelled, and we continued to finish up the first street while making our way to the chick street. When we got to the street, there was no one around except little kids. "Hey, Billy, I think you lost your marbles or something," I said. "Calm down, John. You'll see them," Billy replied. We delivered a couple more houses, and then I saw her. I turned to Billy. "Billy, who's that?" "That's Linda," Billy said. "She's nice," I exclaimed. "No shit, John," Billy laughed. "No, really, she's cute," I said. "Yeah, just your type, John. Nice, quiet, and sweet," Billy replied. All of a sudden, Billy finally broke the silence. "Hey, get in that house, Linda," Billy yelled. Linda laughed. "Oh boy, she has a nice smile," I thought to myself. "Do you know her, Billy?" I asked. "Yeah," Billy answered. "Well, introduce her to me," I asked of Billy. "You're so impatient, John," said Billy. "Damn right, Snots," I joked. "Don't call me Snots," Billy jested. Billy went over and talked to Linda for a bit, and then we left. Oh man, I knew I would get to see her a lot more times. She's so sweet, I thought to myself. We finished delivering Billy's newspapers to all the houses on his route, but I still couldn't get over Linda. She's so beautiful, I kept thinking to myself. Man, what I wouldn't give to go out with her. Before Billy and I left, he introduced me to Barbara and Maria too. However, I still concluded Linda was like a dream come true to me. She's everything you want in a girl: looks, figure, and personality. The next 2 days I kind of stayed away from Billy's paper route. However, I still couldn't get over how nice Linda was. It was Thursday, the 19th of October, when I met Linda again. I also met Monica, her best friend. "Billy, is this Monica?" I asked him. "Yep," Billy said. "Well, I still say I like Linda more than any other girls I've met," I told Billy. "How do you know if Linda likes you, John?" Billy asked. "I don't," I replied. "Well, then don't get your hopes up too high, buddy," Billy laughed. "I won't," I said, but I did. Thursday night, I went over to Maria's house. The night before, I was asked a question if I liked Maria, and I said yes. So there I was the next night after saying that, just sitting and staring into space. Who was I kidding? I didn't like Maria. Linda's the one I really cared for. Also, last night I told my mom my problem, and she said, "It'll work out, don't worry." Man, I never worried so much in my life. Who's she kidding, don't worry? Oh boy, was I in a jam right now. So there I was with the girl, Maria, I didn't like that much, but she liked me a lot. Then, a girl, Linda, I really cared for, but didn't know if she liked me. Maria finally broke the silence. "What are you staring at, Linda?" Maria asked. "I'm not staring," Linda answered. "Well, stop that. I don't like that," Maria joked. Maria continued to talk, and I continued to stare out into space. "John, why are you so quiet?" Maria asked. "Huh?" "I like to look into the sky," I said. Then we kept in total silence except for the commotion Maria's brother caused. I told them I had to go home, and then I left. I really didn't feel like going home, though, so I went over to my other friend Silvio Salmieri's paper route, which was next to Billy's, to help him collect his money from his customers. "Hey, Silv," I yelled. "What are you doing here?" Silvio asked. "I was over Maria's block. Guess who lives on her block?" I asked Silvio. "Who?" Silvio said. "Wayne Swavely," I said. "Who's he?" Silvio asked. "He's a jerk from my school," I said. "Oh," Silvio laughed. I helped him finish collecting on his route, and then we went down Maria Street. We didn't see any of the girls at first, so Silvio got his jollies off by doing pranks with some of the kids until Wayne and his gang of misfits showed up chasing Silvio home. I told him he was a jerk. After Silvio left, I ran into Linda. She had been in Maria's house watching Mork and Mindy. I missed that show again. It's on a bad time for me. "Where are you going?" I asked Linda. "Home," Linda answered. "That's nice," I said. She laughed. When we got down to Linda's house, we stood in the street just talking. "I'd like you to meet Betsy," I said. "Who's Betsy?" Linda asked. "My bike," I replied. "Oh, hi, Betsy," Linda responded. "So where's Maria?" I asked Linda. "She has to stay in," Linda said. I could see right then and there that I truly loved her. She began to look cold. I could tell by her teeth chattering together. "Are you cold, Linda?" I asked her. "Yes," she said. Oh man, I felt like squeezing her to keep her warm. "Why don't you get Billy to keep you warm?" I joked, and Linda laughed. "Linda, what was Monica trying to say tonight?" I asked. "What do you mean?" Linda responded back. "When I met you and Monica over the park, Monica said that Barbara likes me, and I said big deal. Then Monica said that Maria likes me too. She also said someone else likes me too, outside of Maria and Barbara, but who?" I asked Linda. "I forgot what Monica said, John," Linda said. "Let's see. Then there's two left, Cheryl and you, Linda." I gulped after saying that. "Well, Cheryl is occupied, and so are you," I said. "How am I occupied?" Linda asked. "Well, you watch Speed Racer." We both laughed. I stood there looking at the sky and Linda's beautiful face. "It's so quiet, but if Monica was out, it wouldn't be so quiet," I joked. Linda laughed. We continued to talk and stare into the sky. Linda continued to literally freeze to death. I could have kept her warm. Man, she was the best looking girl I've ever seen for ages and ages. The kind you want to marry. Linda and I continued to talk and stare up at the sky until Linda said, "John, I have to go in now." "Okay," I replied, and then Linda started towards her front door. I watched her walk into her home, and then I headed towards my home on my bike. I rode my bike all the way down Linda Street, McKinley, and turned left at Frontenac Street, then right at Benner Street. I continued riding my bike on Benner Street until I got to my street, Augusta, and made a left. I rode down a couple blocks until mine in 5900 Augusta. I went around the back to put my bike in, and then I watched some TV. The next time I saw Linda, it was on a Friday afternoon. "There she is, Billy." Billy shouted out to Linda, "Get in that house." Linda laughed. Then Linda called out to us, "Billy, are you going ice skating tonight?" "No," Billy responded. "How about you, John? Linda asked me. I don't know, I answered Linda. Well, Monica said you two are going tonight, Linda said. Are you going, Linda? I asked. Yeah, Linda answered. I said to myself, damn. Who's going to be home tonight, Linda? I asked her. Monica, she said. Okay, I'll see you tonight, Linda, I said to her. Okay, responded back Linda. Billy and I continued to finish up his paper route, and then we left to go back home to our street. That night, I brought Silvio over. We saw Linda and Maria as they were getting ready to go ice skating up at Tarkin Playground. Hi, Linda, I said. Hi, Linda responded. Oh, well, I'll see you later, I said to Linda. As Linda started to leave, I asked her to come back. Linda, come here. She came over. I don't know if I should tell you who I like more than Maria, I teased. Who, John? Linda asked. I'll tell you tomorrow, I teased her again. Okay, see you later, John, Linda said, as she began to catch up with Maria. Bye, Linda, I said, as I watched her finally catch up with Maria, Barbara, and Maria's brother. Man, I watched her with all my concentration until she was out of my sight. I walked back to Monica and Silvio. We talked all night long. Silvio was a trip that night. He was nuts. The next day was Saturday, and all we did was shoot the shit. I still couldn't get over Linda. Monica asked me if I was going anywhere that night. John, are you going anywhere tonight? No, why? I replied. I have to babysit for Sandy, Monica said. So? I joked. So I mean, Linda was wondering if you could come over? Monica asked me. Okay, what time? I asked Monica. 6:15, Monica responded. See you then, I said, and jumped on Betsy, my bike, then rode off. I went home, ate, and then brushed my teeth. I asked my mom what time I had to be in, and then I left. I got back on Betsy, my bike, and began riding to Sandy's home on Devereaux Avenue. When I got to Sandy's house, where Linda and Monica were babysitting that night, I was greeted by Linda. Woohoo! She asked me if I wanted to come in the living room, and I said no. I finally agreed to go in the basement, so I rode my bike around back and put it in the basement. All night long, we shot the shit and listened to Steve Martin's comedy album. I felt good being there with Linda all that night. We continued to talk and listen to the radio. When it was time for me to leave, I said goodbye to Monica. Linda showed me to the back door. I got Betsy out and then looked Linda straight in her eyes. We embraced into each other, but instead of just a goodbye peck on the cheek, we Frenched. And Frenched. Man, was she a dream. We continued to kiss and embrace each other. She was so sweet and gentle, like a deer. Finally, we broke it up and I left. I waved bye to Linda and took off riding down the alley. I made a right at the top of the alley, rode down McKinley, took a left at Frontenac, and then made a right at the end of Cornell Elementary School. I rode down 6000 Augusta Street, my brother's friend Bubba's block, and then to my block, where I run around my back and put my bike into my basement. The next day was Sunday, October 29th, and I went back over to the street. Linda and Monica were out. The kids on the street were teasing Monica. Then, one of them kids, Stevie, chased Monica with a water balloon trying to throw it at her, but it missed her. I turned to Linda and said, "Linda, why don't we get out of the line of fire?" "Okay," Linda replied. Linda and I walked over to Resco's store and sat on the outside of the ledge. We saw Monica chasing the kids because she finally got hit with one of those water balloons and she was soaked. I began to think to myself that now might be the best time, although I began to hesitate a little. I finally spit it out. "Linda, can I ask you something?" "Me?" Linda replied. "Yes," I said. "Okay," Linda responded. "Do you want to go out with me?" I asked. Then Linda looked up at the sky. "Yes," she answered. My heart jumped. I said to myself, "Whoopee!" "Do you want to stay here all day?" I asked Linda. "No," she said. Then I suggested, "Good, let's take a bike ride, okay?" "Okay, I'll get my bike out. Meet me around my block, John," Linda said. "Okay," I answered. I met Linda around the back of her house. She got her bike out, locked the garage, and then we got ready to ride. "Where do you want to go, Linda?" I asked. "I don't care," Linda replied. "Okay, then follow me," I said. We rode up Linda's driveway and towards the other McKinley Street. We turned left at the end of the driveway. From there, we went all the way up McKinley as far as it could go. We then made a left on Seminole Avenue, rode past Devereaux Avenue, and made a left at Cornell Elementary School. We rode our bikes around the inside of Cornell schoolyard for a few minutes until I said, "Linda, let's go over to the steps, okay?" "Okay," Linda said. We rode over to the steps, got off our bikes, and put their kickstands down. Linda and I then sat on the steps outside the auditorium across from the metal water fountains. We began to stare into each other's eyes. "Linda, do you want to meet my parents?" I asked. "Okay," Linda answered. She always says okay. Linda and I then got back on our bikes. We turned around and rode towards the ramp on Seminole Avenue side of the school. When we got there, we turned left onto Seminole Avenue and rode towards Comley Street. After we rode about 20 feet, we turned right towards my alley, 5900 Augusta Street, and then up the back door of my house. I turned to Linda. "Now, if I could get this bell to ring," I joked. "Where do you see me get electrocuted?" I joked again. In a matter of a few minutes, I finally realized the door was open. I opened the door and brought up both our bikes. Naturally, Linda's went in first. "Don't mind the basement. We're in the process of fixing it up," I said. "That's okay," Linda said, and then we walked up the stairs. We walked into the kitchen and my mom was doing a crossword puzzle. "Mom, this is Linda. Linda, my mom," I said. "Hi, Linda," my mom said. "Hi," Linda replied back. I then asked Linda to have a seat. Linda sat down on a chair next to our refrigerator. I looked at her and I thought to myself, how lucky I was to have such a girl. We stayed in the kitchen talking to each other for about 10 minutes until we decided to go into the living room. I introduced Linda to my dad and my brother Ronnie. After that, I took Linda outside to go check out our new customized van. When Linda and I came back inside, I told my mom that we were going to take a walk up Cornell Elementary School. Linda and I walked down my street to the next block, 6000 Augusta Street. But instead of going down the street, we decided to walk down the back alley. I looked at Linda. "Linda, do you mind if I put my arm around you?" No, Linda replied. Why did they do that? Who was that dumb klutz? When Linda and I got to Cornell schoolyard, we went back over to the steps we were at earlier. After we sat down, we talked and kissed a lot. Within a half hour or 30 minutes, my brother Ronnie came up to tell us it was time to come home. I got up and took Linda by the arm. We went back down the alley and then walked into my house. See you later, Linda, my mom said. Bye, said Linda. Linda and I went down my basement to get our bikes out the back door. We were on our way towards Linda's house. We rode up 1600 Augusta Street, Bubba's block, and turned right at Benner Avenue. We then turned left down Frontenac, took that down towards McKinley, made a right, and rode it down to 3 blocks towards Linda's block. When we got to McKinley, we rode down the alley. Linda and I stopped at her block and began talking. Linda turned to me and said, John, what is that guy in the car staring at? I don't know, maybe he likes you, Linda, I joked. We both laughed. I turned towards Linda and said, should we give him something to stare at? Who? The guy in the car? Linda asked. No, not him. The guy on the porch, I replied. Linda looked. Well, do you? I asked again. Okay, Linda said with a smile. We stared into each other's eyes and then embraced. Linda and I began to kiss and kiss and kiss. I then said, I don't have to go home to eat. I can stay here and eat. Linda laughed. We started kissing again until Linda had to go in. See you later, Linda, I said. Bye, John, replied Linda. I rode home and ate dinner. I went back over Linda's later that night. Linda and I continued our romance. Everything was going peachy. Then it happened. I didn't see Linda until 7 days later. It was Sunday the 10th of December when I first got in touch with her. I was sitting down Monica's basement with Monica and Maria. I was about to ask Maria to go out with me. I had been messing around with Maria because I was told Linda did not want to go out with me anymore. So, I decided to ask Maria out. After all, it was Maria who was the first girl on that block that said she liked me anyway. And we've been having a good relationship messing around together along with Linda. Everyone on the block had been calling me Jack Tripper. They said Linda and Maria were my Chrissy and Janet because we were always messing with each other just like Jack did on Three's Company with his 2 girls. In a way, I guess they were right because I did have fun messing around with both Linda and Maria all the time. And I could tell by their actions too that they liked it and they thought it was funny. Deep down, I couldn't help thinking I was wrong asking Maria out. It was a long shot on holding out hope for Linda, but she was worth it. So, I decided to wait to hear from Linda first. Maria had to leave, so I said, "Goodbye, Maria." "Bye, John," Maria replied. Maria, will you be out tonight?" "No," Maria said. "How about, you know what, I'll see you tomorrow," I said. "Bye, John," and Maria began to leave. Maria walked up to the top of Monica's basement steps and walked out with Monica. Within a few minutes, Monica came back downstairs. "John, your friend's outside." "Who?" I asked. "Linda," Monica said. "Oh," I replied. Just then, Maria banged on the basement window and said to Monica, "I'm telling Linda to come down there." "You better not," I joked, but Maria left. Within minutes, Monica's house phone rang. It was Linda calling. Monica talked on the phone with Linda for a while, and then Monica handed her house phone to me. I spoke into the phone. "Hello? Hi," Linda said. "Linda, where were you? Why haven't I seen you?" I asked. "I'm sick," said Linda. "You're always sick," I joked. "Linda, let me ask you a question." "Okay," Linda said. "Why haven't you called me? And why do you always stay away from me?" I asked. "I don't," Linda answered. "No? Okay. Then why every time that you babysit you never open a door to me?" "No. But if Maria or Monica come down, damn if you don't open that door," I said. "Maria had to ask me something," Linda said. "What about me? Do I have any time in your life, Linda?" "Yeah," said Linda. "Linda, I come over every goddamn day to see you, but you act as if you don't give a damn." I said. "I do," responded Linda. "You saw me Friday playing football outside on your street, but you didn't say anything. You didn't even say hello, go to hell, kiss my ass, or nothing." "I didn't see you," Linda answered. "No? You just looked right at me. Oh, I guess you were looking at Billy?" "No, I was not," Linda said. Meanwhile, Monica is actually pissing herself from laughter. She's making faces and mouthing the words, yeah, yeah. I felt sorry for Linda, because when I get mad, I can really put someone in their place. But it felt good getting everything off my chest. However, deep down inside my heart, I knew it was a good thing telling Linda how much I felt about her. "Linda, there's a rumor going around that you like Billy more than me. Is this true? Do you?" Monica just stood there looking like, boy, does he have balls. He doesn't pull punches either. "No," Linda said. "Then how come everybody says you do?" "I don't," Linda answered. I continued to chew Linda out, and then we made an agreement. We both would go out with different people starting Monday, the 11th of December. I would go out with Maria, and Linda would go out with Sylvia. Linda and I finished talking for a little longer, and then I hung up Monica's house phone. I said goodbye to Monica, and then I left her house. I talked to Maria later that night, and she agreed to meet me after school tomorrow. So much of that idea. It was Monday the 11th of December when I rode my bike back down Linda and Monica's street. I ran into Maria and we talked a bit. I gave Maria a song I wrote about her before she had to leave. I told Maria I would give her a call later that night around 8 o'clock. I then began to talk to Monica. "John, you're a stupid ass," Monica said. "Why?" I asked. "Because Maria doesn't like you. Linda does," Monica said. "And how do you know?" I asked. "She told me so." "I'm sick and tired of being Dear Abby to you, John," Monica said. "Monica, you sound jealous," I joked. "Well, see?" I joked again. "John!" Monica exclaimed. "Monica, Jesus Christ, what the hell do you want me to do?" I asked. "John, you act as if you want me to take a survey of who likes you or something," Monica said. "No," I replied. "All I'm saying is Linda likes you, so you better stay with her." "John, give me one reason why you broke up with her," asked Monica. "I didn't break up with her," I said. "No? Then how come Linda thinks you did?" Monica asked. "All right, Monica, you made your damn point, but if she doesn't like me, you're dead. You don't think I have enough guts for it?" I joked. "No," Monica said with a smile. "Okay," I said. "I'm leaving, John. I'm cold," said Monica. "Bye, and remember, if she doesn't like me, I'm going to break your damn ass, Monica," I said with a smile. I walked up to where Linda was babysitting. She opened the door and we spoke. I'd looked Linda straight in the eye. "Linda, do you like me?" I asked. "Yes," she replied. "Okay. Did I ever tell you that I was breaking up with you?" "No," Linda replied. "Good. Let's leave it that way, so everything is back on square one, okay?" I asked. "Okay," said Linda. Just then, the girl who Linda babysits, Michelle, asked if I could see her puppy. Linda said, "Tomorrow." "Linda, are you going anywhere tonight?" I asked. "No," Linda answered. "When will you be home tonight?" I asked. "I'll be home about 6:30, Linda answered. "Okay, bye, Linda," I said. "Bye," said Linda, and then I got on my bike, Betsy, and rode home. That night, I came back over around 6:30. I almost ran Linda over while she was walking across the street as I came down the alley. "Hi, Linda," I said. "Hi," Linda said. I walked her across Roosevelt Boulevard and we went to the store. As Linda came out, she dropped everything. "Nice going, Linda," I said. She laughed. "Look at all those bags they gave you," I said as we both laughed again. "Come on, Linda, let's go." We walked up the alley where the dog had barked at us on our way over. "Where is he?" I asked. "She," Linda answered. "What?" "The dog was a girl," Linda said. "No, it wasn't. I've never seen a female dog lift its leg," I said as we both laughed. "He's gone," Linda said. "Nope. He's really in that trash can, and when we go past him, he's going to jump on us," I joked, and we laughed again. "He must be in talking on the phone," I said, as we laughed again. We continued to walk to Linda's home. Linda went inside. When she came outside, she told me something. No, she's not pregnant. "Monica said that her parents are going out tonight, so we can go over there," Linda said. "Okay," I replied. Turns out Monica's parents didn't go out that night. We stood there talking, and I stared up at the sky. I took the songs out of my pocket that I had written. "Here, you might as well read these, there's nothing else to do," I said to Linda. "Okay," Linda said, and she began reading them. Linda spent about 2 minutes on each song I wrote until she got to the one I wrote called John and Linda. And she stared at that one a long time. After a while, we went to Linda's house, and I stood there down her basement. Within a few minutes, Monica, Barbara, and another girl came over to do their homework. They had to make 4 granny squares before Tuesday. I sat there watching The Year Without a Santa Claus. Barbara and the other girl left around 9:30. Monica, Linda, Linda's mom, and I stayed. Linda's mom started to talk about who's going out with who. Linda's mom said, "All that I know is that Monica likes Billy," she said as Monica began to blush. "Monica, did you fry your face?" Linda joked. Monica's face was as red as a beet. I started getting on Monica too. "What are you, an Indian?" I joked. I looked at Linda's mom. "I have everything down pat," I said. "Lock, stock, and barrel. Monica is madly in love with Billy." Monica slapped me. She likes Billy, but Billy doesn't like her. Billy likes Linda, but Linda doesn't like him. "Maria likes who?" I asked. "You," Monica answered. "Okay, but I like Maria as a friend," I said. Linda's mom got up and said, "That's good, but the only people I didn't hear about were Linda and you, John." Linda's mom walked into the kitchen, but before she left, she kicked Linda. When Linda's mom came back into the living room, she stood over Linda from behind, and without speaking a word and only moving her lips, Linda's mom told me that Linda liked me, and I nodded that I knew. After a while, I said that I had to go home. "Bye, Mom. Finish your granny squares for Billy," I joked. "Sure," Monica said with a smile. "Bye, Mrs. Sheridan. Thanks for having me in." I said. Anytime. You don't drink or eat too much, she said as she smiled. I know. Bye, I said. Linda and I went down to her basement so I could get my bike out. Linda opened the back door for me. I pushed my bike out onto level ground and then turned towards Linda. Full moon out. Weirdos are all out like me, I joked. Don't say that, John, Linda said. I walked over towards Linda. I embraced her and kissed her. For the first time, I kissed her with my mouth closed. Boy, I'd do anything to marry her. We continued to kiss and kiss. It felt good to be back in her arms again. I asked Linda when she would be home tomorrow, and she told me about 2:45 or 2:45. It was Tuesday, the 12th of December, when I next saw Linda. I saw her walking to Jean's house where she babysits. Hi, I said. Oh, you scared me, Linda said. I did? You going up to babysit now? I asked. Yeah, Linda answered. When will Jean leave? I asked. 3:45, said Linda. Okay, see you then. Bye, I said as I left. Monica came over but left because of the weather. After Jean left her home, I went over and walked into the house. Hi, Linda. Hi, Michelle. Hi, the little girl said. Linda brought in the puppy. It was brown, the kind you buy sort of like a doll. I stared at Linda. Boy, she's a doll by herself. It's nice, I said. Monica came in. We all talked, and then after a while, Monica left. I left right after Monica did, but not before I asked Linda what time she would come out tomorrow. I told Linda that I'd be down about 3:30. I also told her that I'd call her about 8 o'clock that night. That night, I talked to Linda on the phone from around 8:20 to 8:55. I told her I'd see her tomorrow. Wednesday, the 13th of December, I got sick. I called Linda about 4:04 and told her I'd definitely see her tomorrow. The next day was Thursday, the 14th of December, when I saw Linda again. My chain on my bike got stuck, so I had to coast down her street on my bike. I saw her walking up to Jean's house. Hi, I said. Hi, nobody's coming out, Linda said. What? Monica and Maria are not allowed out, Linda said. Oh, I responded. I was trying to fix my bike and wasn't getting too far with it. John, what's wrong with your bike? Asked Linda. The chain's stuck. Jean is leaving in about 5 minutes, Linda said. Okay, by that time I should be done fixing my bike, I answered. Okay, see you in about 5 minutes, said Linda. Bye, Linda. Bye, Linda responded back. When I was fixing my bike, 2 of the local kids who were also my school classmates stopped by, Wayne Swavely and Jeffrey Geoffrey. I also saw Monica and Maria walking up the street. Boy, does Maria hate my guts. I really can't blame her, though. She's a nice girl, but I'm perfectly happy with my girl, Linda Sheridan. I like and love Linda so much that I wrote a couple songs about her. Here is the song about the title of this book about Linda and I. I heard the old man saying something. It was about the great old pumpkin. The great old pumpkin in the sky. A story told about you and I. You and I. I wonder why. Why they picked you and I. The gods, they all picked it. I guess we really can't lick it. So sit back and settle down. Pick your feet up off the ground. The story is about true love among 2 people young as a baby dove. The gods picked it. I guess we can't lick it. When we got chose, the council all rose. Of all the people out of 1,050 billion, they chose John and Linda to be the ones to have happiness forever and forever. They'll have the blessing of the council of billion. So that's how we got it. I guess we can't lick it, so we might as well take the blessing of the Council of Billion. Our love will be called once in a million. I saw Monica, and I walked over to talk to her. Monica and I talked, and then she walked me up to see Linda. We sat on Jean's steps talking and laughing. Monica left because of the wind. Monica is always getting cold. We stood there talking, and then Billy almost had a fit. He had to be home in about 30 minutes, so I helped him finish his paper route. That night, Silvio and I went to Linda's house about 5 of 8. Linda opened the door and said hi. Silvio said hi back to her. Nobody's allowed down Monica's basement, and nobody's allowed down mine because my mom and my brother Mike are sick, Linda said. So what's on the agenda for tonight? I asked. What? Responded Linda. Let me put this in English. What's going down tonight? I said with a smile. Wait a minute, Linda said. Linda went inside her house and then came back out. My mom wants me in because I'm sick, said Linda. I looked up at her. She was on the top step and I was on her bottom step. Linda, I'm afraid we don't see eye to eye. I joked, and then Linda laughed. Silvio then turned to me and said, I hear an annoying noise coming near. It must be Billy. Yes, it is Billy, I said. No, wait, it's Monica. No, Billy and Monica. Oh, it's Billy and Monica rolling on the ground making noises. Oh my, that's disturbing. I joked. Linda and Silvio laughed. I'll see you tomorrow at 3:30, Linda, I said. Okay, Linda said back. Bye, Linda, said Silvio. Linda said bye right back to Silvio. I turned towards Linda and said, Linda, if you're sick tomorrow, you're going to get it. And then Silvio and I left. Friday, the 15th of December, I saw Linda at Jean's about 4:20. Hi, Linda. Hi, Linda said back as she looked down the street. I sure wish Monica would get here quick, said Linda. Why? Because I have to leave to go babysit, Linda said. I started to walk away and then turned around and said, this is where I came in. Billy and Linda started laughing. We all continued to talk until Monica showed up to take Linda's place. I followed Linda and walked her to her home. What time will you be home tonight, Linda? About 1, answered Linda. Okay, I'll see you around 1. Bye, Linda. Bye, Linda answered back. I helped Billy do his paper route. Within a few minutes, Linda came back out. I thought you were going to babysit. I am. My grandfather's picking me up along with my brothers Mike and Brian, Linda said. In a matter of minutes, her grandfather picked her up. She was walking out of her house with a handful of bags. Hey, need any help? Sure, Linda said. So I carried one of her bags for her. I was taking them over to her grandfather's car when he stopped us. Hey, who is this character? Linda's grandfather asked. This is John, said Linda. Hi, John, her grandfather said. Hi, I said back to her grandfather. I carried another one of Linda's bags to her grandfather's car. Her brothers got into his car and then did Linda. She looked at me and I said, I'll call you at 8, okay? Okay, Linda said, and then drove off. I stayed around to talk to Billy and Monica. That same night, I talked to Linda on the phone from about 5 of 10 to about 10:25. Saturday, the 16th of December, I saw Linda again. I was on the street playing football when she came out and I greeted her. Hi, Linda said back. I looked at her and said, want to play some football? No, responded Linda. Come on, Linda. I bet you catch better than me, I joked. Just then, the little girl that lives next to Linda came down the street. Linda grabbed her and hugged her. Why don't you hug me like that? I joked. Monica was in a daze. We continued to play football in the street. Linda said that she had to go put some medicine on her knee. The same knee that Maria hurt when she tripped her playing around. I told Linda I'd still be outside when she was done. I had to talk to Linda because we were about to leave. Linda, Silvio, and I were talking, and out of nowhere, Linda fell into the bushes. I don't believe you, Linda, I joked. Linda was just lying there in the bushes. She was actually doing a spread eagle. Silvio was foaming at the mouth from laughter. Silvio and I began to help Linda up. I'm so clumsy, said Linda. You're telling me, Silvio joked. We all talked some more, and then I told Linda that I'd see her later that night. Saturday night, I knocked on Linda's door. Her mom told me to come in, so I did. I sat down and said hello to her mom, her dad, and her brothers. She should be down any minute, John, Linda's mom said to me. In a matter of mere seconds, Linda came downstairs. Hi, Linda. Hi, Linda said back. Linda went into her kitchen, and when she returned, we went outside. Monica wants us to see her, Linda said. Okay. When we got to Monica's house, Linda went up to get her. Linda was just about to knock on Monica's door when she fell again. Yes, again. What am I going to do with you, Linda? I joked. Linda laughed and then said, my mother said at the rate I'm going, I'll never see my 14th birthday. You better, I responded back. Monica came out and we talked for about 20 minutes. Then Linda had to go in to get changed for the party. When Linda came out, she didn't say goodbye to us because she had thought that Monica and I had left. She was also running a little late for the party. I got so pissed off that I started to walk away. I was really ready to blow open. Where are you going, John? Monica asked me. I don't know. Hope I get killed, I said. I didn't look back. I just kept on walking. I walked through the triangle on the right side, and when I got to the end, I turned right. Then I left. I was walking with my head down. Boy, was I pissed off. Then I took another left. I was actually walking in the middle of the street now. I continued to walk in the middle of the street. When I came back to the street, Monica and I talked on the corner for about 35 minutes before I left. A couple of days later, I get everything straightened out between Linda and I. I continued seeing Linda until Sunday, the 24th of December. We kept in contact by phone. The next chance I got to see her was on Wednesday, December the 27th. Silvio and I went over to Linda's house about 9:15 in the morning. Crazy, aren't we? We talked to Linda for about 10 minutes. Then I told her I'd call her later that day. When I talked to Linda later that day on the phone, I said, Linda, are you doing anything for New Year's? No. 3 people asked me to babysit. I said no to 2 of them, Linda responded. But you didn't say no to Jean? I asked. Yeah, said Linda. Well, Linda, how would you like to spend New Year's Eve with me? I asked. Sounds great, Linda answered. We continued to talk on the phone, and then I told Linda that Silvio and I would meet her tomorrow at 10 a.m. Silvio and I arrived at Linda's house the next morning about 10 of 10. I knocked on her front door, and Linda came out. Silvio and I talked to Linda for a bit, and then we all left together. We went down the alley near Linda's house. I walked next to her for about 2 minutes, and then I put my arm around her. After we came out of the alley, we made a right and headed down a street where there was trash men on it. I don't really remember the name of the street, but it was near Max Meyer's playground. When we finally got up there, we ran across the street. Silvio headed us towards Gimbel's department store in the Roosevelt Mall. We went towards the back of the store. I showed Linda where I almost fell off a wall. Silvio was walking on that high wall, and then he looked down and said, We all laughed. Silvio was the first one to open Gimbel's front door, but he slammed it on Linda by accident. I yelled at him, "Oh, Silvio!" "Oh, sorry, Linda," Silvio said. Linda didn't say anything, she just laughed. I was walking with my arm around Linda, and Silvio was leading the charge through Gimbel's. I felt like I was big shit walking with my dream girl. Hot damn, was I ever in heaven. "What do you gotta get?" Linda asked Silvio. "I don't know," Silvio answered. "You don't know? And you came here to get something for your cousins?" I said. "Well," Silvio said, "I have to get a record for the girl." "What record?" I asked. "I don't know," answered Silvio. Linda and I both laughed. However, Silvio just ignored us, laughing at him, like everyone else did in that rotten place. We kept on walking around, and Silvio took us up to the 3rd floor. When we got up there, all there was beds. I mean, there must have been about 100 beds. I looked at Silvio and said, "Yo, Silvio, don't give me any ideas." Linda, Silvio, and I both laughed. We continued to walk around. I still had my arm around my doll, Linda Sheridan. I was in my freaking glory, I mean it. We continued to wander around looking at all the beds and the beds and the beds. After a while I said, "Come on, let's go to Sam Goody's." After we cased the joint one last time, we were on our way to good old Sam Goody's. By the way, it was Thursday, the 28th of December. We walked into Sam Goody's and everybody was looking at me. I felt like saying, "What the hell is your freaking problem?" But I shut up because I didn't want to get into a fight with Linda there. You know how it is. Silvio, Linda, and I went to the back of the store where the albums are. I still had my arm around Linda. Silvio joked by giving me a funny look that he was disgusted with me. I threw Silvio a look back and said, "Kiss my ass." We walked around Sam Goody's for a while, and then Linda got an album, Steve Miller's Greatest Hits. We laughed after she paid for it, of course. I was walking with my arm still around Linda, and Silvio was walking by himself. He kept begging us to go to the Galaxy Arcade inside the Roosevelt Mall, so we finally went. When we were inside the arcade, we played games like pinball machines, shooting galleries, and all the other shit you find in a rundown arcade room. After a while, we decided to take a bus home. On the bus, I laid some really heavy crap on Linda. I was sitting next to her, and Silvio was in the seat right in front of us. Linda turned to me and said, "It feels nice." I turned sharply and said, "What, the sun or me?" Linda hesitated for a moment and said, "Both." You know, I got a real charge out of that. As for Silvio, he thought I was nuts. Sometimes I think I am. I continued to spend more and more time with Linda. However, I didn't know what was happening to us. We seemed to be slipping away from each other. It was a cold, snowy day when I went over to Linda's house on January 14th, 1979. I was helping Billy with his paper route when I saw Linda. I'm not 100% sure it was Linda, but it looked just like her. I felt a little queasy. I knew something was about to go down. They say people can sense if something is going to happen to them. Damn if I didn't feel and sense things that day. After I saw Linda in her house, because Billy had to go up there to collect for his paper route, Monica came to meet me outside. She handed me a piece of paper with my name on it, John Ruppert. "Here, John, read this letter from Linda," Monica said. I took the letter and began to read it to myself. It read exactly like this. "Dear John, I am doing what Monica told you because everyone is saying you are too protective, and I need some time to myself. Sorry I have to say this in my first letter, but I really want to. I haven't been getting any of my schoolwork done thinking about this. Don't try to talk to me about it because I'll only say the same thing. You're also ruining my relationships with my friends. I had to choose between you and them. Franny McIntyre wants to meet you so he can punch your face. He says you're too protective too. Just because I talk to other boys doesn't mean you have to kill them. By the way, I really like Franny. I did call him that night, but just a phony. Goodbye, Linda." You know, I'll never forget that day, and I'll never forget how I felt after I realized it was all over. My fun, my joy, my love had gone. Like a noise across the wind, like a wave across the ocean onto the beach. Yes, she was gone and probably out of my life forever. But I'll always have those fond memories of her inside my head and my heart. Bye, Linda Sheridan. I'll miss you, and good luck. I wrote her a letter explaining a lot of stuff. I have the letter recorded in my 8-track tape deck. I couldn't get it out now to read it to you. So, basically, it just said, well, you know what kind of stuff you say. The last time I heard from Linda, she wanted me to come over to talk. I said, no way. Well, that was the last of the romance. So there it is, the true story of John and Linda. Once in a Million really sums it up, a hell of a lot. The story of two teenagers, John Ruppert and Linda Sheridan. Well, that's my story. Someday, I'll look back when I'm famous and laugh at this. My first book, Once in a Million by John J. Ruppert. I finished this book February 29th, 1980. At 10:13 in the night. It is a Friday night. When I started this book, who knows? Look for me. I'll be there like I always was with Linda. Correction, this ending is wrong. I didn't finish it February 29th, 1980. I'm finishing it now, May 14th, 1980. The reason why I didn't finish it the first date was on the account of the arrival of my friend Mike Sips and his girlfriend Donna Shearer. Silvio Salmieri also called me that night. Mike and Donna, well, that's another story all by itself. Pretty soon I'll start to work on my new book all about Mike Sips, Donna Shearer, my ex-girlfriend Donna Jean Ely, and my new girlfriend Barbara Zamponi. Look for it soon. As for the old gang from this book, well, here's the rundown. Linda Sheridan, I guess she's okay. I haven't heard from her in a long time. Monica Ross, she's probably okay too. Haven't seen her in a while either. Maria Desmond, probably as beautiful as ever. The last time I talked to Maria on the phone was a couple months ago. She was going out with someone. I hope she finds the right man for her. Billy Motts, well, Billy is okay. I see him every day and we get along great. He's a nice kid. Silvio Salmieri. Well, Silvio moved away. I don't see him or hear from him that much anymore. He's okay too. I really miss him. As you know, I love that kid as if he was my own brother. And as for me, John Ruppert, well, I'm okay. I have a lot of things to do. What I spend most of my time now is with my beautiful hot Italian girlfriend, Barbara Zamponia, whom I love, and for the very first time, I'm enjoying this feeling again. I'm also going to be on a TV show on Channel 12 pretty soon. Well, I guess that's the end of this book. I hope you enjoyed this book as well as I enjoyed writing it for all of you. It was great times. This book talks about when I get old, I guess I'll read this book and see how I was when I was young. Well, so long, it's been great writing this. I hope you have great times like I do. I dedicate this book to people it depicts, mainly Silvio Salmieri, Billy Motts, Linda Sheridan, Maria Desmond, and Monica Ross. But especially Linda Sheridan and I. For without us, this book would not have been written. The end. By John J. Ruppert, May 14th, 1980, 16 years old. There you have it, folks. The conclusion of my book, Once in a Million. I hope you guys liked it. I'd like to hear comments if you liked it or if you hated it. Whatever. Either way, I'm hoping that by you listening to my story, it may give you the incentive to write your own story. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next book. Peace.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.